This is December 7th, 1974. We're interviewing today Mr. Howard Taylor, owner of the Browns Mills Shopping Center Plaza. And we're visiting him at the nursing home in Marlton, where he is now living. And this is Marion Blaetz, and along with me is Mrs. Blanche Honig of Browns Mills.
Will you tell us something about Newell Harker, Mr.
Yes,
Taylor?
Newell Harker. He was a man. I should say was probably in his 20s or older when Fort Dix was built. When you go from Browns Mills, that road past the shopping center toward
Lewistown Road? Lewistown Road.
Yes. Then you have to make a right turn, and you come to a circle.
Yes.
And just beyond that circle, if you go on to Wrightstown, there's a home there. Did you ever notice it?
No, I didn't.
Well,
Marion knows it.
that home is that was his home at the time.
That was the Harker farm?
I don't know. It was
I know Fort Dix took over the Harker farm.
Well, the important part was that all the big wigs from Washington and New Jersey were there, and all the agreements and everything were signed on the kitchen table.
Yes.
And he was present.
For the purchase of Fort Dix, of
Yeah.
Camp Dix.
Yeah.
That would have
was
been
World War-
would have been about 1915 or before that. Would have
Well,
been even
it could have been a
before
little
that.
bit before that, because 1917, they had boys there and pretty near frozen.
Do you know what Browns Mills was like before that, Mr. Taylor?
Oh yeah, I know.
Can you tell us? Describe what it was like and the people who were there.
Yeah, I know Browns Mills from the time I was 7 years old. Knew the kind of people and everything else. This is just a funny one. Maybe you wouldn't want it. But my uncle was I think he had 6 jobs, all over the railroad, but each thing was divided. For instance, he was station master, and he was a freight agent, and there were 6
Browns
altogether.
Mills Junction? Browns Mills Junction?
He had both Browns Mills Junction and Browns Mills. And
Well, that spur wasn't run in there until later, was it?
Oh, yeah,
Was the spur
running,
there?
It was running at that time. That was, I was 7 years old, and I'm 82 now, so figure that out. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
before that, there were some people there who objected to having the railroad spur into Browns Mills, and they used to go. So, is that correct? That they went out to Junction Road there to the Browns Mills Junction, and not right into Browns Mills? Is that correct?
Well, they would do that because there was no train. The trains didn't come into Browns
Into
Mills.
Browns Mills, yes. Yeah.
I never heard any objection to the trains coming into Browns Mills at all. Never.
Kay Gill told me that at one time they horse and sleighs, they had to love just a different type of people, a leisurely type of, is that right, in Browns Mills, and they would use their sleighs to go sleighing through the woods there, which road, or...
She saw only one group of people. The bulk of the people in Browns Mills didn't do much of anything, and they made their living in the summertime picking blueberries.
Pineys.
Yeah, the so-called pineys. And there were many. There were more than one person trying to make a go of Browns Mills, and all failed.
They did,
Yeah.
as a summer resort, as a winter resort and a summer resort, I guess.
Well,
Is that right?
Well, they tried different things. Foster was the head of the International Correspondence School, and he built a big chicken farm there. Did you ever hear of that?
Yes, yes. Bill Thorne has pictures of that. I think he came here. I think he worked for that concern, and that's how he came to Browns Mills. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
You know him, I guess. Don't
Yeah.
you? Bill Thorne.
And he was, but that flopped.
Yes.
And
And they
then
tried
there's
a
a-
bottling works.
what's
They
that?
tried a bottling works and that.
Yeah, they had this bottling works. But the only thing that was successful were the blueberries. My uncle used to be so tired at the end of a day in the summertime that he could hardly move.
What was your uncle's name? Mr. Taylor?
Scattergood Taylor, Thomas Scattergood Taylor.
Well, in this old map, there is a picture of the Scattergood
Boarding houses.
boarding house. Was that in his family?
Yeah, I think
Uh-huh.
so. In my family, yeah.
In your family, the Scattergood?
Yeah.
That's a family name in your family.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, here's the makeup of my family. All of this is in those books. Lost Towns in New Jersey.
Oh, Beck's books.
Yeah.
Did Mr. Beck ever interview you when he was
No.
in there? No?
When he sometimes you get a little tired and can't think too well. That's all right.
You were speaking about your uncle, I think.
Yeah. He was a bachelor, and my aunt who lived with him was a old maid, Aunt Sally. You probably heard of her, because she only died about 12 years ago.
Is that the one that lived in the house there where the shopping
That's
center?
right. Yeah. Mhm.
In
Do
the
you have-
homestead there at the
that's
corner.
right. And she was an odd one.
What was her name? Sally? What?
Sally Ella Taylor. but one thing shows how funny she is. Incidentally, she was a registered nurse.
Oh, was she?
Yeah. She trained at this hospital in Philadelphia, one of the big ones.
Presbyterian?
No,
Philadelphia General?
no. Down
Episcopal?
10th Street.
Jefferson.
Jefferson.
Yeah.
Thank
she,
you.
Big good hospital.
She trained there, and she was a very odd individual. Although, well, as a kid, I just adored her. And when after I was married, see, I have a cousin, female cousin, and I had an older brother too. She had made some remark to the effect that the first one of that generation who had a child was to get the cradle that had been in the house. All of my aunts and uncles, and back as far as anybody can remember, were rocked in this cradle, and it's the most beautiful thing you ever saw. Peg has it.
She told me she has it.
Oh gosh, it's pretty.
Mr. Taylor, when did your aunt's family, then when did they settle in Browns Mills? Do you know that?
Well, I guess they Elizabeth Brown was my great-grandmother. she married Thomas Scattergood. In these books, she is mentioned as Grandma Scattergood.
Oh yes, I remember that.
The Grandma Scattergood mentioned in there is my grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
And was this Elizabeth Brown? Was she the daughter of the Brown that had the mill in Brown's Mills? Was she the daughter of the?
I think that the Brown family owned all of Brown's Mills at one time.
And do you know how she was related to Abram Brown?
No, I think that's different
There
family.
are two families. I did talk to Mrs.
Yeah.
Uncle Marion, and she's that family. That one came from Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right, Mr.?
I'd never heard of that.
She told
I don't
me
know
that.
anything about that part.
Yeah.
But there were three of the original Brown, and they were all women. And in dividing up the estate when the original Brown died, one of them, which was Elizabeth Brown, took the land, which was all Brown's Mill. And the other two took the land that was along the Delaware River where New York Ship is now. They owned all that at one time.
Well, when? Do you know, in the early 1800s or before that? Did it go back before that, when they settled there? They must
before
have.
that.
Now, Brown's Mills was called Biddle's Mills before it was called Brown's Mills.
That's so.
So we've been
I
told.
didn't know that.
So you would know, I'm sure.
I never heard of that.
You never heard that?
No.
Have you heard that,
Yes,
Marion?
yes.
It was Biddle's Mills, but you don't know. But maybe we could. Are there records? Do you have records of that era, of the transaction, or deeds, or something of that era, so we could get the dates when
We
the
have
families?
one thing that I have that might be interesting. I have a cash book. You know, in those days, people paid their bills once a week at the grocery store, or once a month. I don't know which it was. And I have one of those books that gives all the names and how much what they owed and how much it cost and all those things. I have that now. I always intended it.
What date? What are the dates?
Well, there's around the Civil War period, I remember, because reason I remember that was because I was comparing prices. And
you know, we have a picture of an inn that was there in Brown's Mills in 1820. So it has to go has to have existed even before the Civil War. 1820.
oh yes,
Have you seen that picture, that old picture?
No.
Of the,
No,
and
I
it's
didn't.
quite a good sized
See,
inn for its time, don't you think so, Marion?
Elizabeth Brown made a well, I guess you call it a pinpoint picture in which she had a house and some chickens and things on there, and she says that it says on there that she said, I think she said she was 9 years old. No, 13 years old. And gives the date on there, which was that I can't remember. My cousin has that.
Needlepoint? Did you
Yeah.
mean Needlepoint?
Uh-huh.
Is your cousin living in this area?
Bristol.
Oh, Bristol?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Could we have your cousin's name if we wanted to check
Oh,
the
sure. But she'd be glad to.
Would she?
Oh, sure.
Is she about the same age as you, Mr. Taylor?
They're
she would
all
have
younger than I am.
Oh, but did she originally lived in Brown's Mills in that
No,
area?
she never lived in Brown's Mill. Neither did I. I was born. You ever hear of Heading?
I think so.
Mhm.
Yes.
Well, that's where I was
Heading,
born.
yes.
Right. But The other day I asked her if she see my grandfather was not let's see, my grandfather was married twice. He was. I knew all. There were 5 children of one mother and 2 children of the other. There were 2 children. I think that was the Brown end of it, and they.
This one wife that he had married was a Brown.
Yeah.
Oh, is there any of that family living who would have old records or old pictures? We can get back to about the Civil War, and nobody seems to know anything before that, and there had to be something of Brown's Mills before that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Do you know, we have now, Jack Davis told me, I haven't talked to him in person, but over the telephone, that he has a picture of the causeway before it is as it is now. I think there was like a big pipe or something that the water ran. Do you remember? Do you recall? Or have you ever seen or heard when? Because once upon a time they must have had to ford the stream. Now, is it true, the story about the Hessian soldiers marching through there on their way to Trenton? Have you ever heard that story? You never heard it? Because when they came through, there was no bridge, then they had to ford the Rancocas there. Or no?
Mirror Lake.
Yes.
At the time that I was 7 years old, thereabouts, 5 to 7, looked almost identical, the same as it does now, with the exception of built up.
Yes. Well, we have pictures of when the Forest Hotel, and it was a resort with the lake there at that time. That was 1890.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But somebody somewhere must have a record of when that causeway was built and what was there before that.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody must.
Why,
you didn't tell us your cousin's name in Bristol. You didn't tell us the name of your cousin in Bristol before we get away from that. It has this needle point.
Helen Forster, Forster.
Helen Forster.
Her first name is Helen.
Would she be in the phone book?
Oh,
Would
yeah.
Be in the phone book?
Peg probably knows where she is.
Oh.
The telephone number. Do you want her telephone number?
Okay.
Her telephone number is, well, of course, 215. ST 85608. They still have some letters. And she married a fellow named Paul Forster.
Mm-hmm.
See, the shopping center is a family affair.
Yes.
Her family owns half of it, and my family owns the other half of the stock.
Do you have a lot of pictures? Do you have old pictures of Brown's Mills? Or pictures of some of the people who lived there years ago?
No, I should have.
Okay.
And it might be that we run across them. See,
Peg would have.
See, I will be. This will be my home the rest of my life, because I have to live somewhere where I have a nurse, a trained nurse, available at night and day, and so here's where I'll be. So just
Peg has them. Peg has those access to them, I guess, does.
Oh, she has access to everything.
She told me she has a lot of old historic items from your family.
But you ought to have a picture taken of that cradle.
I guess so. She told me that.
That's something.
Yeah, she said it is.
Well,
Where did you go to school, Mr.
You
Taylor,
spent most of
and-
your life in Haddonfield, haven't you?
No, at seven you moved to Browns Mills, did you?
What's that?
You moved to Browns Mills when you were 7 years old?
No, I never lived in
Oh, you
Barrens.
never lived in?
No.
Oh.
But see, I can remember that period because that was the period when I used to remember well and used to visit.
You visited the old family homestead. I guess that's it.
It was an all-day trip from where I lived to Browns Mills.
Was
there
that
and back.
Haddonfield?
No, it was
Oh, Heading.
Heading.
Sorry.
We would start real early in the morning and get home real late at night.
And what was there when you got to Browns Mills besides the lake and your aunt's house? Was there much there to see?
No, there were houses there, and there still some of the houses were there then. You know that house that.
You want to change?
No,
Want to
no,
sit here
no,
and change
this is all right.
seats with me?
Wanna put your feet up?
Remember that house that was that I think the bank has bought it and planned.
Kay's gift shop?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sycamore Hall. Sycamore Hall.
Somebody's getting Christmas cards.
Do you want to put your feet up, Mister? Can we
No,
help you?
no.
Okay.
Let's lay down for the night. That's it, Sycamore Hall. Well, 2 or 3 years ago, I visited one of my classmates, a very close personal friend, at Walpole, Massachusetts. And they knew, and they had often, somehow or other, they found out that they'd come from Browns Mills. Let's see. Oh, both of them had come from Heading, not Heading, but Haddonfield originally. And but I didn't know anything about their relationship with Browns Mills at all. So my friends had them over one of the evenings that I was there, and she was the daughter of a man, I think his name was Ross. The only thing I can remember Ross, these great big whiskers. And that house, that's the house that they lived in the summertime, and lived in Haddonfield in the wintertime. Well, of course, you've heard of Warner Hargrove.
Yes, heard of him.
And Warner Hargrove had married the second time, and he had a boy. The boy was about the same age as this girl, and she was telling me the funny things. Of course, the funny things that went on, and she said that one day she used to. They were kids, you know, and they drove. He drove someplace to pick her up. And they sat up. Both of them sat in the front seat, and Warner, you know, he was a sort of a pompous individual, stuttered, and he stood like this. And he said, "Why, aren't they a fine-looking couple? They make a wonderful couple." She told me this. Of course, Warner. I knew Warner well because he had been dead for many years. Incidentally, this Newell Harker, who owns this key, is the brother of Warner Hargrove's second wife.
Yes, she lived in Pemberton, I believe.
Huh?
She lived in Pemberton, I think,
Yeah,
and died not too long ago.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah.
Well, how did he come to have the key to the Newell house? Do you know
I have
anything
no
about that?
idea, but he was so proud of that. He always carried it in his pocket. See, he and I both belonged to this so-called 65 Club. We were both members. Well, he was a little older than I was. I'm old enough, but he was still old. And every time go to a meeting, he'd haul that out and say, "See this?" Show it to me every time. He must always carry it, unless he carried it every time he was sure that he was going to see me.
This is for the benefit of the tape. We're talking about the key to the old Newell house, which apparently Newell Harker still has.
Yeah, he has one.
Now, you don't know where that was located, though, the Newell house.
No, he would, I guess. No, I don't even know whether Newell Harker's alive. You know. See, I haven't been active for the last 2 years. All this year, I've been either in a hospital or here, mostly in a hospital. Last year, I was in the hospital most of the time, so that I haven't been to a 65 Club meeting for a long time.
Did he live with his family? Did he live with children?
What's that?
Did he live with children, with his family? Did he have children, descendants
He doesn't.
that he lived with?
I don't think. Now he may have had, but he has no.
No,
He has no relatives now
Oh,
because he lives. Different fellows have told me he lives with somebody. Somebody lives with him and takes care
takes
of
care
him.
of it.
If and I was. I got from my sister or my daughter-in-law this morning. I called her and asked her. I didn't want to call Newell Harker directly because in the first place you wouldn't get the first baseman talking to him about it because he would be all over the map. And the second place, he might not be alive. So I was going to call a fellow by the name of Jack Downing, who knows him real well, a friend of mine, close and lives there near me. I was going to call him and ask him if he was still alive, and if so, if I could make arrangements to have an interview with him. Of course, I couldn't do it, but I could make arrangements for somebody else. And Jack Downing would go along if you wanted.
Oh, that sounds fine. It's a great idea.
And now you know what goes through all these things that go through your mind. I was thinking, he knows he can't live many years. And incidentally, when he was 96, his mind was keen as a whistle. Very good. I had a trip up there. Up to the club had a trip up that way, you know, a few years ago, and somebody tipped off the commanding officer up there that who he was, you know, and boy, oh boy, they rolled out the red carpet for him, and he was a stuffed toad.
You mean because he owned the farm that's
Yeah.
it's quarters one, they call it. Quarters one on the circle there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to place it. That's the Wrightstown Circle, over that way, or out
No,
if you go up Fort Dix Road past the high school, toward Fort Dix.
Yes.
It's the first circle.
Oh, now I know.
Yeah.
It sits up high.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Well, what did you do for recreation when you went up to Brown's Mills in the summer? What would you do?
Swim.
Swim,
Yeah.
mostly. And did you go up there ice skating in the winter time? Or
I don't remember that.
Did you
were
pick-
there stores there? Were there stores besides Harker's? Hargrove had a store.
Yeah.
Hargrove. And
But I
where
don't
was the
remember
post
much about the
office?
story.
Where was the post office?
But,
Where was the post office? Was that in Harper's store? Or?
I think at that time, the post office, you know that building where you know where the lawyer has his office now.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't that building, but the building next to it, which is a very, very old building.
Well, that was the post office up until 15 or 16 years ago.
That's
in
right.
there. And it was in the same.
I think so.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like Pemberton. Pemberton's post office jumped all over the map.
oh did it?
Yes, it was in
Well,
the first one building and then another. But it sounds
Well,
as though
I
Browns
know.
Mills stayed pretty much in one building.
I don't know. I know that in the 50s it was in that little building across the street there. J.C. had his store across the street there,
Yeah,
too.
he has a store across the street from where it was now.
Yes.
There was a woman that my uncle seemed to be involved in the post office too, I suppose, in mail. And there was a woman in there that was very friendly with him, and they worked together very well. And I remember he always called her Tish. The last name was Williams after she was married. She married one of the First World War boys.
Is that his command? I wonder. No, I guess it's just a stool. Should we move our coats over here?
No, I can stay on.
Sorry. Did you tell us what your uncle's first name was, Mr. Taylor? You told her your aunt's name.
Thomas Scattergood Taylor.
Oh, Thomas, you did tell us.
He was always called Scatter.
Scatter uncle. The uncle's related?
That's how this guy got his name, was from my uncle.
Were they related too?
I don't think so,
Oh.
but they worked for him or something.
Oh.
And,
Oh.
but people have told me that that's how he got his name. Because everybody always used to call my uncle. All his friends called him Scatter.
Myrtle Nissen told me something about her father, and it wasn't clear to me as she told it. It was something that I wasn't familiar. Did he make barrel staves or have some kind of a business like that? Myrtle Nissen's father, Garfield's father. You don't know that?
No, don't know anything
I
about
have to
that.
go back and ask her again.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Did you know Myrtle when she was young?
Myrtle who?
Nissen, Myrtle Lemon. It was Lemon then.
Oh.
Yes, you
don't-
knew them, I guess. You probably
I don't
played
know
with
whether
them.
I remember or not. I'm not
Yeah.
quite sure. The churchyard seems to be about the same now as it was then, excepting that now they have that across the street, you know,
Yes.
the Newcombs. I imagine that some of the members of the Newcomb family may have some pictures. That's an old family, you know, in
Newcombs.
Brownsville.
Newcombs are.
Oh, yeah.
I was talking to Catherine Gill, and she told me that Dr. Newcomb had come from North Jersey. I think his wife was sick, and he had moved down from North. But some years that he was there in Brownsville,
Yeah.
but they were not natives.
Oh, no.
Of that
No, they
area.
weren't natives.
He was a wonderful man, wasn't
Yeah.
he? Did you know him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I know him from 2 or 3 sources.
Oh.
When my wife graduated from college, Mrs. Newcomb's sister was the principal of the high school of Burlington, and that's where she went to teach. And we had our lives planned way ahead. We planned to. She was planning to teach for 2 years, and we get married. I taught at Montclair Academy at that time. And you asked me, this is breaking off the subject, you asked me if I went to school, where I went to school. I went to school, come in.
Bordentown Academy?
I went to school, Bordentown Military Academy.
Military Academy?
At the time of the school, because I was in a position to know, because I went right from college to teaching at Montclair Academy, and they were supposed to be very much alike, very similar. And Montclair Academy couldn't, scholastically, Montclair Academy couldn't hold a candle to Bordentown.
That's
Oh, the marvelous school. As a matter of fact, I think they ruined me because I was too well prepared for college. Didn't have to work so hard.
Well, where did you go to college? You went to, you taught
Amherst.
it.
Amherst.
Oh, Amherst.
Yeah. The really big man, I mean, big not in size and so forth, but was a man by the name of Seal Whitney lad. He was the one that was, he was the headmaster, and then his cousin was the president, real old man, and then his cousin's son, he was the commandant. He was a pompous sort of individual, and we never. But
and your wife taught in, where did you say she taught, in Burlington? No.
Burlington High School.
Burlington High School.
Then you know Dr. Newcomb, when his wife died, he married our sister, who was this principal of the school. So we knew them well. We used to go visit them quite frequently.
He didn't build that house, did he, Mr.?
Was
Yeah,
it?
he didn't build that house.
No.
That had been there.
Yeah.
I wonder whose home it was before he bought it.
I don't know.
It was,
Yeah. I really don't know as much about Brownsville as I should, excepting things I can remember. For example, this may surprise you. One of my playthings was a tin box, a tin salve box, a tin box of salve had come in, and did you ever hear of the Black Doctor?
yes.
Well,
He was in Medford, from Medford, wasn't he? Wasn't he from Medford? Still was his name, I think, wasn't it? Still, Dr. Still?
I
You know
think
about
it-
him,
yes.
don't you, Marion?
I think it was.
Yeah.
But I thought it was
Yeah.
more around Red Lion, that area.
Is it? Oh, was it?
I don't know.
Do you remember?
But I often heard my father talk about him. And I used to play with this thing, and it had Dr. Still's picture on it, and his name. And of course it's been cleaned up and washed for a long time, but it used to be one of my favorite playthings. Both my father and his brothers, one brother particularly, were very, very clever. They made their own playthings.
I was going to ask you that. What did you play with? What kind of toys did you have in those days? Or, not that you're that much beyond ahead of me.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
That's it.
When we used to go up there, you know,
Yeah.
of course, there was, just outside the kitchen door, there was what they called the woodshed. It had 2 floors. And the narrow stairway up to the 2nd floor, it really was narrow. And my grandmother was pretty husky. How she ever got up there, I don't know. But anyway, as soon as I'd arrive, I'd start needling her for some of these playthings, you know, and she'd start to growl at me for doing it, but she always started for this woodshed to get the thing. But there was one toy. It wasn't as neat as my other uncle would have made it, but the ingenuity involved was wonderful. It wasn't longer than that, I don't believe, and it had a windmill on the end, and there was a hole through to that. Then on the top of this little thing, there was a little cavity that had a lid on, and if you want to play a trick on somebody, you simply fill that with flour, and then you put then you got a goose quill. It had to be a goose quill. And you put your finger over the hole. If you blew in it, it would blow right back in your face. And in order to keep it from doing that, and you would, what the trick was, that you hold your finger over that and say, "Boy, I just don't have enough wind to do this thing. You try it." And the other guy wouldn't know anything at all about that. He got a face full of powder. Boy, I wish I had that now, but I had that for years myself. And there was another uncle that had that made a wooden thing, no particular purpose to it or anything. Had a handle, and the wheels had cogwheels and everything else in it. And when you turn your handle, the thing would run along the ground real slowly. But it was a beautiful job. But there's nothing to it excepting that it just was a beautiful piece of work. Another thing he used to do was to take a piece of wood, we'll say, so long, that big square, and in the upper part he would carve it out until he had it in the proper shape, and he'd have carve a ball inside that didn't belong there at all. In other words, it wasn't put in from the outside; it was carved already in there. And then the long part, he would have a long, slender thing that was a similar thing. That was carved inside too.
Was the uncle who made these toys the same one who was the station master?
No,
No.
he didn't. He and my father made the one that he had the most fun with, and he and my uncle, the other uncle, made these toys that were attractive.
Mr. Taylor, can you remember the inside of your aunt's house?
Was that?
Can you remember the inside of your aunt's house?
Oh,
Did
sure.
Did she have Victorian furniture or colonial furniture, or what was it like when you? I bet you can just visualize that now, that you could walk right into it, couldn't
Sure.
you? Did you have?
And she had a great big